I started my background was with sales, was with T-Mobile for a few years, actually probably 7 years, and loved the sales aspect of it, loved the customer service, teaching people, things like that, became
Were,
a manager.
were you in a retail store or
Yeah,
in? Oh, okay.
retail store.
So yeah, I like that
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
It seems like I don't want to say easy. Does that make sense?
I'll tell
Like,
you this, it was easy in the years that I was there because it
okay.
was when cell phones were starting to become big. So it was there in 2009 is when I started with T-Mobile.
Okay.
So the boom of cell phone industry was huge, but also was a transition from regular flip phone cell phones to internet cell phones.
Oh,
So I had to help teach people how to use those phones and kind of go through that transition.
oh, you guys were like customer
Yep.
service.
Right.
The reason I was saying not saying like easy, like sales is easy, because you know how they just let you throw everything on your bill now.
Yeah.
That wasn't back then.
It wasn't like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
back
yeah,
then.
yeah.
You had
So
to
you
pay
had
for
to.
everything right there.
Yeah, yes.
Towards the end of my career, we started to be able to add things to the bill.
Got it.
So I moved up and did management for a while, and I got tired of the whole retail working weekends, holidays, things like that.
Wow.
And a lot of our industry was moving towards banking. Never really had an interest in banking, but got an opportunity to go, and I started working with Chase, part-time teller type of situation. But what was great about it is I was 22, 23 at that time, and got into learning about finances. Was perfect for me because I actually had bought a house when I was 20.
Okay.
T-Mobile treated me very well. Bought a house at 20. I knew I wasn't going to rent. The problem was I bought it in 2007. Okay.
Sure.
So I lost my house by 2009, and I had to work on my finances, my credit all over again. So it was a blessing because I was able to get into the finance industry and learn all of it from scratch because I didn't really know what I was doing in the thought I knew what I was doing, and I was able to learn about home equity lines of credit, buying a house, financing, budget, and Chase taught me a lot of that. So I worked my way up all the way up to a lender with Chase and then transitioned to a smaller bank later on. So I was able to learn from the bottom all the way to the top for lending strategies, what they look for when it comes to credit. But what was crazy is in 2019, people were buying houses like crazy. The interest rates were super, super low. And I was getting a ton of clients who were investors who were getting HELOCs to buy investment properties. Most of them are self-employed. So I had to start telling a lot of people with a lot of money no. And I'm like, why? What's going on here? Where's the disconnect? I don't understand it. I can see their business. They're bringing in millions of dollars because they have all these other businesses. They're self-employed. They invest in real estate. But because we're using their personal home, we cannot use any of their business assets. And to me, there was a huge disconnect there. I'm like, what is going on?
There is. Think about that. So that's important about getting a good tax or wealth strategist to set up your paperwork. So yeah, I was with Bank of America trying to do a HELOC when the rates dropped, and they just ghosted me. 3 weeks in, it's just like they just stopped responding. But they wanted to say, hey, you're in this joint venture, you're in this LLC. Like, who owns this? Show us the K1s. And it's just these banks, the larger banks, the Chase Bank, they can't handle that.
They can't. They can't. And when you're a business owner and you are doing your best to be able to use the tax strategy the best way possible, it's hard for big banks to lend to you. Yep. So I started doing my own research. I'm like, okay, what are these investors doing? They're making a ton of money, but yet these banks are not able to lend to them. I'm like, there's a huge disconnect. Let me learn about it. So I got back into real estate, but learning it from a different perspective of it just being like my own personal home. Got on the Robert Kiyosaki train, went down the Pace Morby train, and learned all different types of strategies for it.